Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Arirang's Within the Frame. Coming to you live from Seoul, I'm Han-daeun. National debate is heating up here in South Korea over implementation of proactive immigration policy in response to its looming demographic woes. The government says that South Korea has transitioned to a stage where accepting more immigrants is not merely an option, but an imperative to address the looming labor shortage and stave off the serious risks of demographic decline. But consensus is lacking, and a multitude of hurdles loom large on the horizon. On this edition of Within the Frame, we look into immigration as a potential remedy for Korea's dwindling population and explore the array of challenges it may entail. To help us explore the directions of the country's immigration policy, Zelana Zemire, lecturer of international studies at Hanyang University, joins us in the studio. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
Also accompanying us tonight is Choi Hyun-sun, professor of public administration at Myungji University. Welcome to the program.
Hello, thanks for having me.
All right, Dr. Zemire, I want to start with you. Oh, my apologies. Professor Choi, let's start with you. South Korea's total fertility rate stood at 0.72 last year. How serious is this? And what does the number imply for Korea's future?
Yes, it is very serious. Maybe Koreans extinct, maybe no more Koreans in the future. So in short and middle range period, also our society and industry totally changed. I think that how serious we are, the New York Times compare our population cliff maybe to the Black Death in the 14th century in the Europe, because our population, the decline is so fast, and it's like a big disease now on our country, and then it is changed a lot. Especially defense is started some problem. I mean, there are not enough the reserve of the people, especially young generation. So maybe our defense system have not enough the soldiers. Also, education is a big problem. I'm now working at the university. Probably in the future or the short future, maybe half of our university will be gone because there are no more children we can teach. Also, welfare is a big problem in the aging population because we don't have we have a historic lowest the fertility rate. At the same time, we have a lot of the aging population in the future, and the welfare cost will be shoot up. So, which means our society has a big pressure in our industry and defense, education, and welfare, and it is the most urgent issue in our country.
Korea's birth rate is so low that it's being likened to Black Death, as you've pointed out, in Europe in 14th century. And it's also becoming a focal point for scholars worldwide. And the imminent threat is getting more palpable each year. And to tackle the issue before it's too late, the government is exerting all efforts, and that include welcoming more foreigners. Now, Dr. Zemire, the South Korean government has rolled out a series of measures to attract more foreign workers amid the country's shrinking workforce. And of them include granting more incentives to migrant workers and relaxing regulations related to visa issuance and residence permits as well. In your perspective, could foreign workers be a viable solution to tackling the country's looming labor shortage?
So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to discuss this viable topic. I must mention that actually very recently Korean Ministry of Labor announced that they will need 900,000 foreign workers by 2032, that is around in 8 years. So we talk about practically 1 million people. That's a huge workforce shortage. And I must mention that other countries, other developed countries actually experience the same things. For example, UK, France, Germany, Japan, and others. UK and France, they solved this by attracting people from their former colonies, and they offer them some kind of permanent residency as a form of apology for past. Germany and Japan, they adopted foreign worker programs, and that is what Korea has been doing. However, I must mention, first of all, Germany is the most successful among these three, and Germany started with this very early 1960s. Foreign workers were in charge of like very boosting economy. Germany originally expected that they will be staying short time and then they will go back to their home, but they realized in early 2000s that there are around 7 million illegal foreign workers, around 8% of population. So Germany decided simply to catch two rabbits with one shot, and that is allowing them to stay permanently. And then there has been a series of very open immigration policies. Still Germany faces workforce shortage. So what Korea can learn from that, I can see that Korea actually is on a very similar path. But Korea has been insisting on preventing 3D workers to stay here permanently. So we keep them 5 years, we teach them skills, they become professional, and then we let them go, we force them to go. This is not good for them and not good for Korean economy neither, because then Korean companies need to hire new people from abroad that are still not trained. So they bring them in and then they have to train them from scratch. This produces vicious circle, so it creates more illegal migrants. And Korean government also is struggling because they need to invest money, efforts on illegal crackdown all the time. So I'm simply wondering why we need to go into this vicious circle. It would be sort of a little bit easier solution, at least, if not allowing them to stay permanently, allowing them to stay longer term. I think this is one solution. Yeah.
So you do believe that inviting more foreign workers can be a viable solution to tackle Korea's looming labor shortage, but we will need more adjustments and improved measures to deal with the large influx of foreign workers.
You are right. So only more quantity of people, it's not enough. We will need to adjust policy in more holistic way, I think. Yeah.
All right, now, Professor Che, according to the latest statistics, the number of foreign residents in Korea reached over 1.4 million last year, hitting the highest level yet. 9 in 10 were in their 30s or younger, and the majority of them were from Asia. Could you help us understand the pattern in the influx of foreigners and the implications?
Yes, there are several very interesting points, especially we have a young foreign resident. Now, the influx of the young foreign residents is a very good sign for Korean society, because we don't have not enough the human resource. In the same time, our aging population is growing. So maybe in the future, as just a general talk about maybe let them stay longer. If we can do that, maybe it help a lot. This influx of the young foreign resident can help a lot, especially Korean industry and society. Also, same time, it is interesting. The most foreign residents are mainly from the Asia, where is maybe similar to our culture. They can eat the rice, something like that. So maybe it is more good way we can mingle together maybe in the future if we have a more aggressive immigration policy. But however, in the same time, foreign population is following the maybe pattern of our Koreans residents' life, which is they are concentrated in the Seoul and the Gyeonggi or other big cities. So our problems, many problems are happening in the rural area, especially maybe the population cliff happens a lot in the rural area. Also, industry in the rural area is a big issue. So I think the government needs to consider how to allocate this foreign population in the countrywide, especially rural area. So I think in the future we must change immigration policy more aggressively. Maybe not in the future. Maybe right now we should do that. Then we have a very good condition, very good circumstance, which is Asian population, including the many other countries. Also, we have a young population is coming to the Korea, which is a very good sign to our country. So I think that this is a very good, very interesting points according to the statistics.
Thousands of foreigners now live in Korea, but little assistance and protection is offered to the population, according to various reports. It's one thing to bring in immigrants to mitigate demographic woes, but quite another to facilitate their integration into the Korean society, which leads to our next question. Dr. Zamire, how would you evaluate the Korean government's support and related policies for foreign residents within the country? And also, what is your perspective on the level of acceptance of immigrants within Korean society?
Okay, so first I need to mention that Korean government primarily supports people who are envisioned to stay here permanently. So we speak about marriage migrants and their multicultural families. We speak about ethnic return migrants, meaning Joseonjok, Korean Americans, and Korean. And then we speak about foreign professionals. Among these three, marriage migrants actually, in my opinion, receive the biggest support. They have access to a variety of programs in their local offices, in their local administration offices. They range from simple courses like cooking, hobby, until more serious things such as child rearing and child support. I think this is all very helpful for them. Of course, there are some services missing. I would like to highlight in some problematic cases, such as cases of divorce. They lack, I think the legal staff are very much understaffed. So these kind of services are definitely lacking. However, overall, I think support for marriage migrants is good. When you talk about ethnic return migrants, they don't have any problem with visa, I think. However, in Korean society, it matters a lot whether a person is Joseonjok, Korean, or Korean American. Among these three Korean Americans, I believe they receive the least discrimination. Other two groups, very often, they have to suffer from prejudice, misjudgments, even discrimination in society. To solve this, we definitely need to adopt multicultural education that stresses that all cultures are equal, all cultural identities are equal. Then speaking about foreign professionals, this group is very much diverse. That's why I can't really talk about their identities in short, but I would like to stress that this group can be a very viable, very significant bridge between Korea and abroad. They can attract foreign investment, they can stimulate trade, improve Korean image abroad, but Korean government needs to help them how to do this role very effectively. So I hope that Korean government can provide more programs going in this direction.
And in related question, Professor Che, some are calling on the need to establish a new national immigration agency that can serve as a control tower for related issues. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that this is a good news, but there are some things we must consider. I think the national immigration agency should be the planning and the service agency, not the regulation of the legal enforcement agency. Especially structure of our government is maybe new agency under the Department of the Law. It is not a good way because we are not talking about the regulation and the legal enforcement. We are talking about how we can our society be a multicultural society. We should do that because the general policy, comprehensive policy, should more focus on not only the labor and the popular